Should the Epstein case be unsealed? Hi, my name is Dr. Lillie Coley, and let's talk about it, everybody. Should we be sealing records when we need to know what's in the records? Because a lot of times the things that are in the records, and I'm not saying things that we just want to slander people on, but to educate ourselves on. So today I want to talk about just that. I got a clip from one of my favorite podcast people, Mr. Sean Atwood, and he talks about that the files should be open to the public. So I want to play a couple pieces of that, and then we'll talk about it on the other side, because I think this is important for us to know what we need to know and actually do something about it when it comes down to understanding the truth, getting a hold of the truth, and then doing something with the truth. All right, everybody, just hold on.
We were skeptical that it would go up the ladder. Well, we saw the announcement of the release of the JFK, MLK, RFK files imminent. And now there is a call to release the Epstein files. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, look at these guys on the screen here. Look at that tight little click. Do you remember when Bill Clinton, he was flying on the Lolita Express? The flight logs showed he'd been on it dozens of times. And he had left his security detail. They were not on the flight logs, but on the flight logs were numerous East European sounding females.
So basically what he's talking about is Bill Clinton, and we're not really here to talk about Bill Clinton, but I get it. He was a part of the story, that he was on the flight logs. And that's something a lot of everybody needs to tune in. Who's on these planes and who's going where? Now, spoiler alert, you can be going somewhere to do something and not know what you're getting into or what's there when you get there. I have been invited to parties, not in another country or island, but right here in the United States, in Florida. And in these parties, they were in a mansion. Don't know if the person owned the mansion, they rented the mansion, don't know who was invited, with a lot of people. And my point is, there was different rooms in the mansion that they told you can go in, and you go in this room for this, you go in this room for that, and then so forth and so on. So you don't know sometimes how extensive these parties are until you get there. That's my point. So I get it. I'm going to skip around because I want you guys to be able to see and hear what's going on here with this particular.
Let's resurrect all this. And she's advocating for the Trump admin's Department of Justice to release additional evidence like prison footage and communications leading up to Jeffrey's death. Oh, but the cameras all went down. The guards all fell asleep simultaneously. Never happened since the inception of that jail in the 1970s, two guards to fall asleep at the same time.
You guys are funny. So the whole point of this was to show you all about what's been going on out there in terms of the Epstein case and should the files be unsealed. Again, I can only talk about my experiences too. I know certain things are sealed because there's a need. In our case, for me and my godson, in the very, very beginning, the court was sealed, the records were sealed because he was a minor. We were told by the judge that if we needed to share the documents, that his name had to be redacted or whited out because he was a minor. Sometimes with family court, there's a lot of drama that goes on with family court. You know, how long people been together, how many times they had sex before the child was born, that kind of stuff, especially when they're not married. So at any rate, in this case here, we're seeing that the sealed record needs to have a valid reason for being sealed. And in our case, it was because of the family drama, and that was for family court. We also had a civil law case, and the civil law case kind of sealed the records in part because of family, but couldn't do that really under the law totally because it's not a family issue. It was more like something that dealt with circumstances from the family court, but not necessarily the same type of statutes. So the point being is that certain types of files do need to be sealed and others just don't, right? But after a certain amount of time, people want to see it. Now you have the P. Diddy case going on. And the P. Diddy case deals with a lot of trafficking, a lot of minors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a need to see it to some degree to show that, first of all, the transparency and that the issues are true. Now, prior to this, there was some other documents that were out there. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with things, but there were some other documents out there. And it was a person, and I'm going to put her thing up on the screen. Her name was Charlene Latham versus Epstein. You see it at the top here. The 1953 trust. Remember that story? Now, this is the second page. So let me see if I can get the first page for you. So that way you can see it better. But get a note of that. This person had been complaining about something, says here it is. All right, so here's about 150. So you see that this particular same person, I'll put it up some so you can see the top there, Charlene, and she did this. Oh, wow. It was quite a few years ago. Let's look at the dates up here. 2021 when this was recorded, but there was another one prior to that, and it had a long list of defendants' names on it. I don't know if you remember seeing that. And it has a lot of the people, some of the people that are being taken to court now about the same types of allegations. So there's information out there regarding this Epstein case. And now they're trying to say we need to see more information. So that's why I'm showing. Should the Epstein case be unsealed? Should it? I think it should. And when there is a real seal, it needs to be a real seal, not something just trying to cover up or try to hide bad behavior or whatever people try to do, use it for, is for judicial purposes and to protect people and to also inform people, such as the public, you and I. So be encouraged that if the court is operating the way it should in the best interest of the public, it will do what it needs to do. So I think it should be unsealed. Maybe not every nick and cranny, but enough where you know about what you need to know about to have the validity or the truthfulness of the case, so that people won't have to worry about is there some hanky panky going on? Are we doing something wrong to the party and they don't deserve it, or we're not doing enough, right? So what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think, and let's talk about it, everybody. Should the Epstein case be unsealed? How do you feel about sealed records? Should records be sealed at all? And understanding what a sealed record is for is for judicial purposes, so that the court can do its business in terms of juries and having clean evidence and things of that nature. But nothing is going to need to be sealed forever, especially if you're not even litigating, right? So now that this Epstein thing is over with, it can help what's going on for the next person that may be in line and the stuff that is going through, so people might understand it better. I think that's a good reason to unseal the record. Thank you all for watching and Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. Look forward to talking with you soon. Be safe, be safe, be safe, and we hope to talk with you soon. Bye, everybody.